Hey guys, I'm Thomas Nonheim. It's my great pleasure to be here in Chicago with Sami Lamppu, and we like to discuss about having a discussion about our community project, the Entra ID Attack and Defense Playbook. Hey Sami, how are you doing?
Hi, all good on my side, and great to be here in Chicago as well. It's great to also see you in person because it has been quite rarely these kind of opportunities we are having.
Yeah, right. And we're starting the whole community project during the pandemic time, right? Do you remember how all the things started?
Yes, it was roughly 4.5 years ago, and as you said, during COVID times, we were working through Teams all the time, having, I would say, hundreds of calls during first,
At least.
yes, at least first initial chapters. But it has been a great journey and especially very fun to work with you and also other community members who has been part of this huge project.
Yeah, and that's really important to underline. This was really a community project open for everyone. So we had a couple of different reviewers, but also co-authors. And I remember it was the first chapter about password spray, right? It took, for me, it feels like a year we spent on this chapter. But how was your impression about all the research work in the first chapter?
When we started with password spray, we thought that it's actually easy, right, to do that. Very straightforward attack to demonstrate and also detect. But it turned totally different case, and I think we worked something like 3 or 4 months with kind of an easy attack scenario. And at the same time we realized that demonstrating these kind of attacks and also have that quality we demand by ourselves and from the project, it's very hard to get on that point even with the kind of easy attack scenario.
And that is something that comes always to my mind. If we're doing the research work, there's something like an easy scoping in the first step. It seems to be an easy scoping. And then we realize, hey, there's so much to explore. Also not about the attack simulation, but also the detecting part. So when I remember back to our latest chapter about the attackers in the middle scenario, we spent much time on the detection part, right? So what is for you the most fun part of doing the research work?
It's very hard to say because I like the whole process in there. You mentioned already the scoping. We have already wrote seven chapters to the playbook, so we know that scoping is the most important part we need to do, or section we need to do. But anyway, it expands always. So as we have seen, for example, in adversary in the middle scenario. But of course, I'm looking this. I'm helping organizations to defend by defending from the attacks. So I'm looking this world more of a blue team approach. So of course, detection is close to my heart, and that is kind of most funniest part for me.
Yeah, and I always like the way when we first of all try to simulate the attacks to see also how the Microsoft threat intelligence works really behind the scenes. And it's when we are talking about focus on a chapter, it's a question how much words will be written regarding the basics, because during the part we did on the token replay stuff, do you start with the whole explanation, what are the different type of tokens, and so it's really hard for us also to know about the community where information are still missing, or should we have only references to the Microsoft docs, which give a great introduction into the part, and we are focusing more on the learnings from the field, right?
Yes, I totally agree. And one good example about scoping is also the latest chapter, adversary in the middle attacks. So we didn't want to have all the different token replay attacks included in the scope because it would be totally impossible to describe those one in this kind of paper we are doing, and that's the reason we'll only cover some parts of the adversary in the middle attacks.
Another
token replay attack.
yeah,
let's put it
right.
that way.
Another challenge that I have seen now over the years since we started the project is to keep the stuff up to date, because Microsoft is doing a lot of new stuff, not only rebranding product names, which is also part of the maintenance process of the attack and defense playbook. It's all about outdated content, and we spend from time to time also a focus on refreshing the chapters. But that is something what we really looking forward to get more support from the community. So if you are interested to join the project, there's a couple of ways to do that. You can become a co-author. You can bring your own content to the playbook. Chris Broom, for example, did that with the lateral movement section, but also having a review, updating the content. So I think this is a project really for all members of the community. So call to join us for this one.
Yes, definitely. Couldn't agree more. Keeping up to content is a very hard task to do. And we have been updating some of the content, so chapters during the way. Some of those ones, I think 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah.
And of course, I would say that the hot topics we are trying to, which we are seeing all the time, our organizations are seeing all the time, we are trying to keep those ones up to date. But help from the community is very much needed, because the project has been growing quite a lot in the recent years.
And we learned from our cooperation over the years, it has been taking, 2-3 years until we meet the very first time at the MVP Summit in person. Before there was just Teams call and all the stuff. So this is something what works really, by organizing Teams calls, having a discussion. GitHub has become a good friend of us to coordinate also the way how we interact with the content. So feel free to join the project on the GitHub page. It's open for everyone. And with these words, thanks for having this discussion, Sami. I'm looking forward for the next chapters we are doing with the playbook. And any special words from your side?
It has been a privilege to work with this in this project with you and other community members, and we are always open up for new attack scenarios and ideas if you're having any on your mind. So feel free to reach us out.
Yeah, and also sharing your experiences from the field. What are the latest trends, attack techniques that you've seen out there? So we are really looking forward for having the most popular attacks covered by our playbook. With these words, thanks for watching, and looking forward to see you as a participant in our playbook project. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.